Vision. Following clues left by our ancestors, we unbury the past to reveal a knowledge of unfathomable value, putting us just a little closer to our own true birthrights. From the secret history of a possible bloodline of Jesus Christ, the secret history of America's founders, to the secret history of extraterrestrial interaction on our planet, here to bring light to the night. Your host for Night Vision Radio, Renee Barnett.
Hey everyone, welcome to Night Vision. So happy that you're joining us tonight or whenever you're viewing this video or listening to the audio version on any of the many podcast formats. Tonight I've got a really exciting show, a little scary, I might say, because we're going to be talking about the astrological forecast for 2024 for the United States. And with everything that's going on and has been going on and probably will go on, I would imagine it's going to be quite a ride this year. But before we get started, I just wanted to say a couple of hellos. I'd like to say hi to all the women who are attending our Other Side of Heaven tour this spring in France. The reason, my listeners may not know much about that tour is because it's a private one, and it is in memoriam and in honor of my dear friend Gloria Amendola, who passed away 2 years ago on Easter. Many of you know Gloria because she was an author and she led tours all over the world, and she was quite a force to be reckoned with. And so the women that are coming are all good friends of Gloria's, including me, and James Martin's going to be there with us. Of course, he knew Gloria as well. And we are going to have a little memorial service. And so if you're local to the area and you knew Gloria, then that means you know me. So reach out and I will let you know the place and the time of the actual memorial service if you'd like to join us, if you happen to be in the area at that time, or if you're living there locally. So that's number one. So hi everybody, can't wait to see you in the spring and be among all you wonderful friends of Gloria's. It's going to be really nice. All these guys are from the East Coast and I'm from the West. So I've been really keen to get together with them so that we can talk about Gloria and really honor her because she was something else. Our producer here, Bill, knew Gloria, and she was always a super popular guest on this show, as well as being one of my closest and dearest friends. Also, I want to say hi to my friends Chris and Colleen who are tuning in tonight. Just a little hello to you guys. See you soon. And lastly, but certainly not least, I want to give a shout out to Heather Besser, the medium who you've seen on this show. And she's having some temporary health issues right now. So anyone that can send some prayers or good vibes her way would be greatly appreciated. And also James Martin, our beloved historian, is got some surgery coming up. So I would really appreciate, and I know he would, he's probably going to kill me though, if you would all send your loving thoughts and prayers, whatever it is you do toward this surgery and everything turning out really, really well for James. We love him. We can't do without him. So he's going to be fine. I have deemed it so. But without further ado, I want to introduce my guest. You've met him before on this show, and you've probably seen him elsewhere. He's huge on TikTok and Instagram with his astrology, but he was sort of first became well known when he founded the Coagula Art Journal in 1992. So he is a very well-known art critic and a master astrologer. So we got a double deal here going. So I'd like to bring on Matt. Hey, Mat Gleason, how are you?
I'm great, Renee. How you doing?
Well, you tell me. I don't know. I've got a little bit of trepidation about hearing what you have to say this evening, but I also would like a little bit of a game plan so that I know how to sort of posture myself during whatever we've got coming ahead of us. So I'm hoping there's some good stuff. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some bad stuff, but hopefully we'll come through it in the end. What does it look like?
Well, the best thing about astrology is the planets keep moving. So when if you're in a downside, understand, just wait till the next full moon, maybe. A new moon in Capricorn just the other day. Today's Friday, January 12th. On January 11th, a little after midnight here on the West Coast, there was a new moon in Capricorn. That's really getting this year off to a start. The first 10 days, that was kind of like the 2023 hangover. But now we're ready to really dive into 2024. Now, anytime you have any activity in the zodiac sign Capricorn, you have to understand that the United States of America was born July 4th, 1776. That makes it a zodiac Cancer, which 1 out of 12 people are a zodiac Cancer. If you're a crab, you know the ups and downs of being a crab. What are people who are zodiac Cancer obsessed with? Security, the home. What's America obsessed with? Homeland security.
Yeah.
So right now, the new moon in Capricorn, there's a couple planets in Capricorn. That's always oppositional to the Cancer vibe. But here's actually the good news for America. Let's start with the really good news. In 2008, you remember 2008, right? The Great Recession. Pluto is a very slow planet, and as an aside, in astrology, Pluto is still a planet. Pluto moves very slowly. In 1984, it moved into Scorpio. It was there until 1995. That's the shortest stay in a zodiac sign that the planet Pluto has. Then Pluto moved from 1995 to 2008. It was in Sagittarius. Then it moved into Capricorn in 2008. Boom, real estate, everything tanked. Look.
What is it about Pluto? I keep hearing, what is it about Pluto? It seems like, from what I'm hearing from people, because honestly, I am no astrologer by any stretch, but is that Pluto has a huge influence on, whatever's coming, and the fact that this change is coming after such a long cycle really portends big things.
The moon moves through a zodiac sign, Renee, 2.5 days. Pluto moved through a sign from 2008 to 2024. I mean, it was in just that slow. It's way out there. Hey, it's way out there. It's in the cheap seats. But the thing about it is, it stays at the same point in the zodiac for a very long time, and it just has a powerful way to just change things. It is the planet of inexorable, fundamental transformation.
Oh, wow.
So it's changed, and it's been opposite the USA's sun, the ego nature of the United States of America since 2008. So the good news is, on January 20th, it's moving into the zodiac sign Aquarius. There's going to be a great.
It's truly the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Yes. Well, no, that's a different calculation, but Pluto in Aquarius will be. It's even less important that it's in Aquarius. The fact that it's not in Capricorn any longer. That we.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. So since 2008, there's just been this this squeeze on the USA to change, to fundamentally alter the course of its trajectory. The things that are weak, that have been weak in the U.S., have been really pushed by this force of Pluto and forced to change. And any weak spots have been exploited. And decimated in some places. But Pluto's now going into Aquarius. It's going to be, that is actually of wonderful ease for the USA. A lot of people predicted some doom and gloom because Pluto's 240 some year cycle meant that Pluto was back for the first time since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Pluto is back in the place it was at the birth of this nation.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you something funny. And every astrologer out there, what you really found out was their view of the USA with their doom and gloom aspect or whatever. I've been studying this for a couple of years now, 30 in fact. So I saw the Pluto return coming. Not that I alone saw it; everybody saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it coming in when I first started studying astrology. There was a lot written about in the year 2022. There will be a Pluto return. It will be the end of the United States. Renee, I'm in the USA right now. It didn't end where I am in Los Angeles. Did it end where you are?
I'm in LA too, so I don't know. Maybe there's nothing beyond us. We don't know. We just don't know.
Well, what happened was on the day of the Pluto return, the dollar, the US dollar, the ultimate symbol of the United States, the dollar, for the first time in history, after many people had said on this day, terrible things will happen to the USA, on that day, the dollar, for the first time in history, reached parity, not parody. It wasn't being a Monty Python about this. It was parity with the British pound.
Yes. Oh God, that was really wild.
And who did we declare our independence from? Britain.
Exactly.
So,
and, I mean, you know, I can remember plenty of times when the British pound was almost twice as valuable as the dollar.
It has rebounded a bit, but it took a lot of the UK's treasury shenanigans to support the pound back up to be a stronger currency. But while astrology told us something big is going to happen, but people start using their imaginations rather than their sensibilities. So I kind of called that one. So I'm not a doom and gloomer.
Yeah, no, that's good. But conversely, I've heard, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, that, you know, possibly because of this Pluto return and other things that are supposedly happening in the heavens, we are on a new path of ascension as a race. And that this is good, you know, things are really going to change. And, you know, in my mind and in others people that I've spoken with, we're thinking about all the horrible things, you know, that we've had to contend with that seemed horrible to a lot of us, like the overturning of Roe v. Wade and that sort of thing. But what did that do? It like awakened the sleeping giant of women voters. The horrible things that have gone on, it's like more people are engaged. Is that part of what's going on? Is that the quiet people are going to be rising up?
Fasten your seatbelts. Are you tucked in? Get ready. The last time Pluto entered Aquarius was the start of the French Revolution. And so I picture.
I like that. We know what the
French
Revolution was all about.
The people are going to rise up. The only question we have is which people and against who.
I already know it's going to be good. It's going to be good because I mean, you know, the French Revolution, you know, boiled down, you know, very, very much. It was really about the people, the population, the huge amount of people, you know, who were unable to live, unable to eat, unable to do anything. And they realized, wait a minute, these guys up here, these royals, they have everything, but there's only just a handful of them. How could they possibly fight against, all of us? And so when we see things happening that seem to cater to a minority in this country, I think people are saying, okay, forget that. Just because we're not loud and crude, we're still here, and, we're not going to stand for this. Does that sound in any way like?
I hope that the people with good on their side rise up against the people with bad on their side. But the history of the world is a little more complex than that. When people rise up, the original intentions get watered down, get manipulated by other forces. Pluto is fundamentally about power and about change. Wherever Pluto is where the power is, and it is now in the zodiac sign Aquarius, which is the zodiac sign of we the people. Now, I told you the July 4th, 1776, we know that every July 4th, the sun is in zodiac Cancer, but I also told you the moon moves around every month, okay? The moon moves around the zodiac. Where was the moon on the day that the United States of America was born? July 4th, 1776 at 5:10 in the afternoon in Independence Hall in Philadelphia. The moon of the United States of America is in the zodiac sign Aquarius. Pluto is moving into the emotional center of the United States of America, which I would like to believe is we the people. We the people is the Aquarian sentiment.
That's what I would like.
Pluribus unum, out of many, one. That is the slogan of the United States, a very Aquarian sentiment.
Yes.
So Pluto, the planet of power, the planet of change, and it's in the sign of we the people, of e pluribus unum, and there's the moon, the emotional nature of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. It's like you said, which side is it going to be? And it seems like a lot of these things, like we the people, the American flag, the word patriotism, have sort of been co-opted by one side. And so this
has been going on for quite a while.
We think we're we the people.
This has been going on for quite a while. Richard Nixon really started pushing, the flag, and that John Prine in I believe it was 1970 has a song, "Your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. It's already overcrowded from your dirty little war. Now Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reasons for, and your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore." So these things have a way of this. There's people are disgusted by political correctness, but there are also people who should be disgusted by patriotic correctness. That if you're a patriot, you believe this, you have this flag, right, you say this, you do these things. So diversity, out of many one, e pluribus unum. The slogan of the United States is we can come from many backgrounds and then we unite under this government. But to be patriotically correct, you can only do this, you can only do that. There's too many strictures from both sides.
Yeah. And then again, there's that side of patriotism that encourages divisiveness, dividing us up from them.
That's anti-patriotism.
America. I mean, I'd like to kind of be patriotic to the entire human race, not just America, but some reason that's has really horrible connotations for people that worry about, one world, new world order, one world government, and all this. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. There's just so much I want to know. So you want to tell us where we're headed and how we're going to get there, and what's coming up first, and what do we need to brace for?
April 8th. On April 8th, there is a full eclipse.
I'll be in France.
Well, you have picked a beautiful time. There will be a full eclipse visible in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Haven't had one like this since 2017. This one's going to be a doozy. If you're in Dallas, you're going to be able to see it, assuming it's not a cloudy day. And the arc of it goes up through Lake Erie. So from Dallas diagonally to Lake Erie, draw a straight line and see if you're on there. On April 8th, there is a solar eclipse at 20 degrees of the zodiac sign, Aries. Every zodiac sign's 30 degrees, 1/12 of a 360-degree circle. And so on that 20th degree, the eclipse takes place, and it is in a square format. It is 90 degrees of the 360-degree circle away from where the planet Mercury was in zodiac Cancer on the day of the birth of the United States, July 4th, 1776. Now, Mercury goes around a zodiac. From our perspective, it goes around once a year. It retrogrades. It retrograding is actually us catching up to it when it goes around the other side of the sun from our perspective. But it affects us from how we perceive it. And so let me tell you, the planet Mercury is our five senses. Okay, our five senses: our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch, and our hearing. And Renee, when there are squares, when there are tense angles to Mercury, is when we're confused, for lack of an umbrella term, confusion.
What if Mercury happens to be your ruling planet? Is that even worse or better?
Well, in the USA's chart, it's not. If this was your chart, if I was giving you a personal reading, it would have more impact. Are you a Gemini or a Virgo?
Gemini.
Yeah, Mercury rules two zodiac signs. It rules Virgo, and it also rules your sign, Gemini. So yeah, but in the chart of the United States, this is how the United States relates to the values of other people, which in this case would be other countries. So a square to Mercury is not that good because it really grinds us with other countries and what their aim is. Our aim and their aim are not the same aim. This is going to be really, really intense.
Do you sense that has anything to do with the Gaza situation?
Well,
like,
we
we're all turning one way, and we're
just like Rome, we are on many fronts. I think there's an irony of some of these wars cost us troops, and some of them cost us a lot of money. The current siege against Hamas is costing. Oh, it's not costing us anything. In fact, Israel's buying weapons from us. So I believe, yeah. So there is a lot of tension though. Now, with the protests out there in the street from both sides, with a population a little more on edge, still not over the impact of the society altering impact of the lockdowns, still a little trepidatious of spreading COVID and all the disagreement about it. These benefit our adversaries. These seeds of chaos. We can't be e pluribus unum if we're e pluribus chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. So this eclipse does not help. This eclipse makes us really start asking our friends in the international community, and it causes our friends in the international community to start asking about us.
They already are.
Do we share the same values? Do we have the same connections?
Right.
So yeah, these are big deals.
Yeah.
So this
it does seem to be that the United States has definitely slipped in something, whether it's the respect of other countries. Certainly there are a lot of people that fear what's happening in the United States that don't live here.
Well, remember, we always have to gauge how we appear abroad by who is our enemy buying off. If they can't defeat them, are the enemies buying them off? So you've got other countries out there with adversarial programs against us. They can't attack us militarily,
right?
But they can hire groups to protest and to imply that there are greater numbers than there are, or they can sway opinion. Look, there's things like America's status in the world. Its power is the dollar, and cryptocurrency is fundamentally an alternate to the dollar, just like gold is, just like the euro is. And so these are things that are going to have to be confronted by the United States government. What is in the best interest of the United States? You see, this Mercury is in the 8th house of the United States. The 8th house is the house of other people's values. This is a rare country to even be in the position to consider the values of other countries. Historically, we've done that, not always to our benefit.
Right.
But this time, our nature to consider the other country, to consider, is absolutely being challenged. And it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. But it could be, yes, it could be the Middle East. I mean, that's, that's a multi-fused tinderbox, so to speak. One wrong match strike could, put that aflame if it's not already. But there are lots of other conflicts, and who knows? There are conflicts we don't even know about. There are conflicts that are averted. There are agreements that are reached in public and agreements that are reached in secret. So for an astrologer, psychic, I think a lot of times, and I'm differentiating between the two. I'm a mathematical astrologer. I have no psychic ability. But often when a visionary sees these things, I'm seeing the limits of what I'm seeing.
Right.
I can't tell you, oh, this means Israel. This means Iran. This means, cryptocurrency. I can speculate on these things. But a lot of times you'll get, I don't want to proffer an opinion of what I think should happen or will happen. I can just tell you some of the ground rules of astrology. And the ground rules of astrology is Mercury is the planet of communication. Not only what you say, but what you hear. These days, that's disinformation.
Yeah.
Propaganda. But in addition to that, putting out a directive, having a red line that can't be crossed, and then all of a sudden, this eclipse is going to square that Mercury, that planet of communication. What we've been hearing, what we've been seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, and what we've been saying. And it's going to be a fundamental tension with all of those subjects as it relates to other countries' values.
Oh, wow.
I think we're going to lose a couple allies.
Oh, that's
so over what? I cannot speculate, but I'll tell you, April and what happens in April, the problem is there's fallout. So the eclipse happens, and once the die is cast, the machine is running. So So something could happen in April and the dominoes fall. And by August, we're like, oh, I wish that hadn't happened in April.
Yeah.
Too late.
Right.
It's too late. So do keep your eyes and ears tuned to the news, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, even a few days later in April, of course, this year, 2024.
Right.
Have a domino-like consequence with how the United States relates to other countries and how other countries relate to us.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Now, you said, obviously, and I had looked this up a few days ago because I did know that this eclipse was coming. And I know that it's going to be visible here on the west coast of America. And where I'm going to be in France, it's only going to be partial. So is the effect heavier on where it's fully visible? Like, is it a bigger deal for the United States than it is for France, say, or Europe?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
But everybody, this impacts everybody in your chart. Everybody has, everyone's birth can be recorded. And then with the recording of the birth, the date, the time, and the city, the birth chart can be calculated. A birth chart is a geocentric map, Earth at the center, us looking up. And yes, I know Galileo disproved the Ptolemaic universe of Earth at the center. However, when NASA wants to send a rocket to the moon or a probe to Mars, they use the geocentric map. They say, okay, the Earth is here and the moon is there and Mars is there. And we're going to send the rocket. Oh, we're not going to send the rocket to there. We're going to figure out where's the moon going to be a couple days later. And that's where we're going to, so the moon's over here and we aim the rocket here and then they all get together. Yeah. So understanding that, your birth chart is a map of where the sun, moon, and planets were in the tropical zodiac in a longitudinal geocentric map. And the longitudinal position of the planet is one thing. An eclipse is the longitude and the latitude. The impact of that, everybody feels it. So if your zodiac chart was ever done, you could look at it and you could say, where is 20 degrees Aries? Wherever that is in your chart, there are going to be some fundamental things. We're going to really have to say, fundamentally, what does this mean? So if, for example, you were born with the zodiac sign Libra rising on the eastern horizon, what was rising in the sky at the moment of your birth was the zodiac sign Libra, followed by Scorpio. But if you're a Libra rising, Aries is your 7th house of relationships, one-on-one relationships.
Oh my God.
And so if you're a Libra rising, there's going to be a fundamental, absolute ending and new beginning.
Oh my God.
For relationships for Libras and Libra risings.
That's bizarre. I am a Libra rising, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Sun and Libra rising. That is crazy.
So I would advise you then on the eclipses.
Because I've already felt that happening.
If you need a new boyfriend, I would say April 9th. If you're a Libra rising or a Libra, April 9th is the day to get on Tinder.
I'm just gonna reveal something here. Probably nobody cares, but I lost my daughter some years ago.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. And I also lost interest completely in relationships, romantic relationships at that time. And I had just recently broken up with a 7-year relationship. So at the time she passed, I was on my own. I have not dated now since that time. And I mean, we're talking 2005.
Wow.
But it's been so weird. and this is kind of embarrassing. It's been so weird, but I've been getting suddenly all these men, like contacting me or saying, "Oh, I'd like to meet you," or, on Facebook or whatever. And I'm going like, what the hell is going on here? And
April
I'm thinking,
9th.
oh my God. Okay, I'm going to keep my eyes open. And anybody else that's Libra rising.
Or Sun in Libra, yes.
Or a Libra, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
You know?
Because I've been remarking on it to all my friends, like, what is happening?
Now, for your purposes as a Gemini, the sun, the solar eclipse in Aries should be the start of some big new friendships. So some very, very important friendships are going to be starting after April 8th. Could be a week later, could be a month later, but there's a big connection with you and a larger audience.
Oh, nice. Very nice. That sounds good. I could always use more friends. I love friends.
Now, for the United States is a Sagittarius rising. The 20th degree of Aries is in the 4th house of location. And so you're going to see the presidential campaign really teetering on the immigration issue, on the homeland security issue. So there's going to be a lot of talk about borders, boundaries, and activity on the homeland. Homeland security is coming to the top of the debate list again this year after April. So I see some calamity involving the home, the actual boundaries of the United States. I see this happening.
Is this like are people generally worried about immigration, or is it just a kind of a small section, or like maybe 25%? Because I have to say, I live in a border state as you do. I never think about immigration. It doesn't bother me.
I agree. But here's the thing.
The diversity of the people.
Renee, with 30 seconds of the right video footage, broadcast on cable news networks, you can make it a front burner issue for everybody.
Yeah.
And so when I look at this, I just look at the reality of what's going to be discussed, what's going to be on everybody's mind. This is the chart of America. This is our collective chart as citizens.
So you think it is a worry? I mean, according to what you're seeing,
it is going to be a front burner issue in the coming presidential race.
Wow.
Issues involving the actual territory of the United States are going to be a front burner issue after April 8th, after the April 8th eclipse.
Because something's going to bring it into sharp focus.
Like I said, it could be something real, and it could be something propagandistic, disinformation, a small perception of an elite, a small perception of some ragtag activists, and it could be a front burner issue everywhere.
So that's what the election is going to be about.
If I'm advising a presidential candidate, I'm saying either hammer them on immigration, hammer them on border instability, or do something now to show that you are tough on the boundaries and borders of the United States, because it is going to be really, really exploited by one or more forces in our consciousness. As it could be a complete illusion that immigration, that could be a complete, I'm not even taking a side here, that could be a complete fabrication, a complete illusion.
Yeah.
We certainly are not experiencing the population decrease that China is, because we have immigrants coming here and China doesn't have immigrants.
It's a problem for China. I bet they wish they hadn't made that one kid rule,
It will come to destroy them. Renee, you don't know how prophetic what you just said is.
I mean, to me, when you interfere with that kind of thing, it can't be right. Life has to be allowed to happen, just as it does, and that's not.
It will be. Let me tell you that. So we have immigration. We can have every American woman on birth control, and we're still going to have more people next year because we have immigration. But that doesn't mean that even because it demonstrably benefits the United States in the big picture, but that doesn't mean it can't be campaigned against.
Oh, yeah.
It won't be campaigned against. And this is the year that it could become a front burner issue.
And what about the women's health rights issue? Is that going to be at play in the election? I mean, it seems to me like it would be. Definitely more women voters than men.
There's going to be some big news about reproductive rights. I tried to explain this a couple of years ago to people when they felt really that Roe v. Wade could never be overturned. One of the arguments was, well, the Republicans don't really want to campaign on Roe v. Wade because they don't want women who are otherwise economic centrists and people with a more libertarian viewpoint. They don't want to lose that because of the fundamental. It's never going to go. And I kept saying it's going to go. The planet Uranus is in the 5th house of the zodiac chart of the United States of America. Renee, the 5th house is children, is reproductive rights.
Oh, wow.
And the planet Uranus, let me tell you a story about the planet Uranus. The planet Uranus was discovered in the 1780s when the French Revolution was taking place. And the astrologers started monitoring this new planet and saying, you know what, this is a really disruptive planet, really disruptive. And of course, the astronomy mafia was like, ignoring. So in 1986, some NASA spacecraft went by the planet Uranus, discovered that it had a large number of moons, and also discovered that Uranus's axis, how it spins, is not on the top. It is 2 degrees above its equator. Uranus actually spins like this. And what does it do? It disrupts a lot of the gravitational force of the solar system. Now, this is the non-believe in astrology NASA talking, but they figured it out 200 years after the astrologers. Feather in our cap, but regardless of that, Uranus is in the zodiac sign Taurus. It's the 5th house of the United States of America. The 5th house is basically, for this conversation, reproductive rights. And on April 21st, Jupiter and Uranus will be conjunct in Taurus. The last time they were conjunct, it was in the zodiac sign Pisces in the year 2011.
Wow.
Pardon me. It was actually, I think it was in the zodiac sign Aries. Let me check there. In January of 2011, might have been Aries. I don't want to be called the worst astrologer. I'll settle for.
I would never.
Oh, I was initially right. Why do I doubt myself?
Exactly.
Renee, Jupiter was at 26 degrees of the zodiac sign Pisces, where it joined up at 26 degrees Pisces with the planet Uranus. Uranus is way out there. It takes 84 years for it to go around the zodiac. Oh, it only takes Jupiter 12 years. So Jupiter got back into Pisces 12 years later, but Uranus had already moved on a bit. Now Jupiter's catching up with it. For purposes of the United States of America, there's going to be some big, wacky disruption to the way reproductive rights are dealt with in the United States. I'm not saying that I'm not saying any of this is on the side of history. I'm just saying what I see. These are things I see.
And you're not saying one way or the other. It's just
a big disruption. With Uranus, it's expect the unexpected. The disruption will be thorough.
Oh my goodness. Well, don't let me get to the end of the show without, you talking about post-election, like December time. But what else? Is there anything else between now and the election that we should really be looking out for besides these two events on April 21 and April 8?
Yeah, there's another big eclipse. This one's not visible in the United States, but it still really affects us, Renee. In October, I'll give you the date. It's October 2nd in the United States, but it's in the
France again.
Say again.
I'll be in France again, going back we've got a tour coming up in October.
Wow. At 10 degrees Libra, there is another solar eclipse on October 2nd. So if you notice Aries, there's an eclipse, and then there's an eclipse in Libra. Oh, you see eclipses are on a cycle where they happen in opposite zodiac signs. Okay.
Now, are there, I heard somewhere, read somewhere, and I could have been way off. I wasn't really paying that much attention, but did I hear that there's going to be a solar and lunar eclipse?
That's every cycle is that way. Yes.
Okay.
Every cycle is that way. It either goes.
Is every eclipse that way, or
yes. It's a 2-week separation. If you're watching the news and they say there was a solar eclipse today, you can check. Was there a lunar eclipse 2 weeks ago? Nope. There's going to be a lunar eclipse in 2 weeks.
Okay.
You see a lunar eclipse, you just say, was there a solar eclipse 2 weeks ago? Yeah. Okay. That was the end of the cycle. No. But if they say no, there wasn't one. Boom, there will be one in 2 weeks.
It could be either way, but it's going to be 2 weeks either way.
Yeah. So the solar eclipse is in Aries. It'll be 2 weeks after a lunar eclipse in Libra, and then there will be a solar eclipse in Libra on October 2nd, 2 weeks after there is a lunar eclipse. So the interesting thing as far as the United States goes is that this eclipse at 10 degrees of the zodiac sign Libra is in the 10th house of the United States of America's chart. And the 10th house is achievement. So this will be interesting because solar eclipses, every new moon cycle is things wind down and new things begin. We just had a new moon in Capricorn, and I'd been telling my wife, let's wait to go shopping. For clothes and some durable goods. So today we were walking around at the mall all day because it's finally been the new moon in Capricorn. Mercury's not retrograde. There's a very good, folks, it's a good time to be a patriotic American the next 2 months and get out there and shop. Astrology says go shop. But the good thing for the United States is when there's a solar eclipse, it's absolute endings, but it's absolute new beginnings. So this is going to be some big new achievements for the United States. The issue is the eclipse squares. It's at a tense angle, not with Mercury this time, but with the sun of the United States, the sun in zodiac Cancer. Eclipses squaring a sun are very tense. So it's going to be about the ego of the United States. What is the ego? Certainly our collective ego, our collective unconscious, but how we are perceived, how our ego is perceived by the other really falls into this too. And then simultaneous with that, the conjunction is near the natal position where the planet Libra was on the day of the birth, July 4th, 1776 of the United States of America. And so when there is an eclipse conjunct Saturn, Saturn is a planet of what have you earned. In the words of that philosopher Aerosmith, Everything you do comes back to you. So,
Oh, wow. Oh, so we're not talking about necessarily monetary. We're talking about.
oh, it could be the deficit. Oh, it could be a major deficit issue. Yeah.
Oh,
Everything you do, you print too much money, everything you do comes back to you. So, yeah, Saturn teaches us that. Saturn also says, what have you really worked for? So there's a lot of lip service given to so much public policy. So much of it is lip service, but how much of it is really labored and worked for? And these are going to become major issues within a month of the presidential election.
Wow. And do you have any inkling about how that's going to go? The election.
Well, let's put it this way. If it was 1968, you'd be asking me to do the charts of Edmund Muskie and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., wouldn't you? So Nixon hadn't even announced his interest in running for the presidency for another 2 or 3 months in 1968, relative to this being taken in January. I say there's going to be what we expect may not manifest. There could be a lot coming down the road.
Yeah.
Understand.
I saw something yesterday about something called the No Labels Party or the.
Well, we have RFK Jr. is going to be a third party candidate. Ross, look, the only reason that Bill Clinton won 2 national presidential elections, they never say this when they start complaining about Ralph Nader. Ross Perot pulled 19% and 12% of the vote, respectively. Ralph Nader, what did he get? 2%. So Bob Dole would have been president if it wasn't for Ross Perot.
Right.
So Bill Clinton should really be, should have kissed Ross Perot. And so this third party candidate, RFK Jr., can have a profound, chaotic influence on this upcoming presidential election. Absolutely.
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to win.
Oh, no, he would win, but he could cause a problem.
He could have a Perot-like effect. Will he draw from Democrats or will he draw from Republicans?
That's right. It could go either way, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
The talk he's talking is more from the right, but his family is such an established.
He's a Kennedy.
Democratic family. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we are down to the wire. I think we've got less than 4 minutes left. So on December 31st, 2024, what do you see?
I think the biggest issue for the United States this year is for our leadership and basically Americans everywhere is to understand that challenges are meant to be rise to, not shirked from. And if the leadership shirks from this, it's going to have a long-term negative effect on how the United States not only is perceived, but is traded with and interacted with for many, many decades to come.
Wow. Now, I'm not going to ask you to speak on it, but have you taken a peek into 2025?
I will say this: there's a plane going over can you hear that? Wow, yikes! Okay,
I did. I think it was a black helicopter, though.
Yeah, that's usually the police helicopter racing somewhere. When it goes real quiet, when it's going the other way, they're going to park it. I live near the legendary South Central LA. I will tell you this: I don't have it called up on my computer, but I've already looked at noon on January 20th, 2025, which will be the inauguration of. I don't even want to say it's going to be the next president, but the next elected president of the United States will be inaugurated.
Right.
By law, this person will take noon is when the presidential administrations switch over. And so that will be on January 20th. And I've looked at that chart, and it's a really good chart.
I'm going to hang on to that for dear life.
Yeah, whoever's inaugurated it'll be a good administration for the benefit of the United States. Maybe not for the benefit of your pet cause or my thing that I really get riled up about, but for the good of the United States in the long term. It's just, Renee, it's the stellar chaos between now and then.
Yeah. That's sort of the feeling I get. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, but it will get better. That's what I'm going to hang on to anyway.
Woohoo! I hope so too.
We've got 1 minute left. How do people find you on social media if they want to take advantage of your?
I am on TikTok, Astrology Blitz.
Astrology Blitz.
There are 100 fake Astrology Blitz accounts if you add me as a friend, that you'll get 40 or 50 of them will start messaging you wanting to sell you a psychic reading. Ignore them and just follow straight Astrology Blitz. No numbers, no dashes. And my name's Matt, but they don't know that. So there we go. I'm on TikTok and Instagram.
And if Bill and I have anything to do with it, you also might be able to find him on the KGRATB website in the future.
Woohoo!
Yay! All right. We're down to the wire, and I'm not getting my the hook yet from Bill. So I'm just going to say once again, thank you so much. Oh, he's laughing. Thank you once again, Matt, for coming back again. And I do hope we can make it more of a regular thing.
Thanks, Renee.
Can't wait to test out your astrology here as we go forward into the chaotic year of 2024. But we're going to make it. We're all going to be fine.
Thanks so much.
Hang in there. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Good night.